Alright, hello all. Sorry about the short delay there. I was on a walk with my dog and I kind of lost track of time. So I had to speedily finish the 2 miles back home and we were good enough. Could have been worse. So tonight I do want to get working on the Beastmen. I have a model which just finished printing last night and I primed around noon today. That doesn't quite fit. Maybe I need to lower the zoom just a little bit here. So let me do that. Let's configure the video, camera control, and let's just bring the zoom out a couple of points. Sorry, I just restarted my PC and everything is giving me notifications and yelling at me. I think that looks quite good. Ah, jeez. I'm realizing just now I forgot to turn on dual stream for this one. I think it isn't really worth it. I don't think we get too many viewers from over there, so I think we're good. Just to start here. You know, unfortunately, as I'm touching the model, I'm getting just a little bit of tackiness. I'm seeing some paint coming up off it. I'll work through it slowly, but I'm hoping that... How long has it been? Let's call it 6-ish hours should be fine. Usually they're workable. I think it'll be. I'll just... Also, I think this is gonna be a pretty quick and dirty paint job. I definitely think we'll get finished in time tonight here. I've been working on these guys a little bit earlier. These guys are from Trainwreck 3D. They're orcs, but of a distinctly different style. They would work decently well for 40k though. I'm pretty sure you can find them in the link below to Trainwreck 3D. And as always, check out Built to Last designs for premium woodworked goods. Alright, onto the actual model of tonight. Also, let me... That's weird. Let me double check something. Huh, am I not live? That's very strange. Let me double check something right now, folks. Oh, okay, that's very strange then. Weird, okay. My bad, just a little mix-up on my end. Or rather, just a bit of weirdness from YouTube. YouTube has been a little bit weird since last stream. I don't know. Let's do this, just because I know Faceplant might be home. Right, there we go. Okay. I'm just gonna do this uniform gray. I'm trying to go through these old army painter paints. They are not the best. I just kind of want to be done with them. I do have this dry brush palette thing, but fortunately I think it may prove a little bit small for the scale of the Herdstone. I'll also take a chance to quickly grab a brush. Do I have a big brush? Yeah. This one's pretty far gone, but that's okay. Just needs to last us through. I think I worked on, I want to say, the Land Raider Crusader with this one. I just never cleaned it off and it got all funky, but that's okay. Texture is not a problem here. I do want to work some funky colors into here, but I think just the medium gray is, as always, a fine enough starting point for stone. A little bit boring, but figure this out as we go. I say as I drop it right on his head. Maybe I should shout the print, because this is from, actually I think this guy makes YouTube videos. It's from the Cults page is called Artifacts Mallow, and I believe I have seen some of his, at least his short form like terrain building content before. I didn't know he did 3D printing stuff until just now, really, when I bought this. And by just now, I do mean a few weeks ago, because I was having some printer trouble, unfortunately. My YouTube analytics here are being very strange, but I will just ignore that for a time being. If people decide to stop by, then that's fine. I will grab a set of gloves in just a moment, since I think as we work through and build extra layers onto the primer, I don't want to be messing anything up. Glove just over here. Yep. Slightly used, but that's okay. I think we'll go straight for a dark gray. I was considering bringing in some of those effects. I think that might be for a little bit later. I think I'm debating order of operations here. I think now is actually no. We're gonna go in heavier with the bright gray. I think we're immediately gonna tone it down with the wash, and then we're gonna start playing around with, I think, some colors and like contrast paints. And then we, you know, we decide how out there we want to look. Because of course I don't want to just be a generic stone pillar. We'll have a little bit more fun than that. So I'm gonna go in a little bit heavy here with the brighter gray. Too much gray just there a second ago, but I am just trying to get some definition here. And we're gonna do a very, very heavy coat with this this bone color here around all those skulls. So I'm not gonna get too much of this off. I'm gonna leave a lot of it on the brush. I'm just gonna pick those out like so. This is just like one ubiquitous big old rim of skulls. All right, cool. I'm gonna clean up the brush a little bit, just to not worry about water contamination here. Gonna take some of that AK wash. I'm gonna take a good amount of this Coelia green sugar and mix them up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get these mostly near the bomb sections of the model. Act as sort of like a little bit of moss. I'm gonna blend these out. Let's use this brush. I think this will be quite a bit better. Be a little bit splotchy with it. I do need to work kind of quickly here. Feather this up the base, and then with this homemade wash, I'm gonna add that. Water it down a little bit. Apply it over the rest of the model. And it'll sort of run in and blend it through those green areas. Also get the skulls with the same color. Alright. Now, as that is drying, let's clean off our hands a little bit. Let's put this to the side. And I will get a little bit of work on something else. Work emergency tonight, which is lovely. I'm really sorry to hear that, Gino. Hope all is going well. Hope you can fix this thing. I have been working on some of your guys. I will hopefully have them either today or tomorrow done. I guess I just want to focus on this because there's this big glossy thing back there. But all the little orcs I was given by Trainwreck 3D, I'm trying to get done. So I think really quickly we're just gonna go into a little bit of silver while the Herdstone dries. Waiting for 288 gigabyte of data upload so I can pull it back down on my laptop at home. Okay. That's not a small file. What kind of 3D print is that? Is that like a Warlord Titan? Are you just saying that because it's yours? I'm joking. It's actual work? Yeah, I assumed. I assumed it won't be something cool. Sigh. Well, hey, I hope this stream can keep you company in this this busy night you're having. You thought you were done with the project? Well, work does have a way of making you seem a fool. This camera does not like having... Oh! Please, no, sire. Why would you do that? It's not like having two things in frame that it might want to focus on. Okay. I will say, with paying FDM prints, I mean, they're like quick and easy, but the details typically a little softer. If you guys do get your 3D print resin thing worked out, I would love to paint some of those guys. Not that these guys are bad, but I'm just saying, especially for these like detail-rich minis, it's sometimes not the easiest. Or at least just for my personal painting style and preference. With soft details, it's hard to be lazy and make it look good. You really need to like put a little bit more effort in. But I don't think I want to be spending like hours on one of these guys. does sound like you are ramping up resin production, though. So keep in mind, there's a new printer waiting for you if you want to figure it out. I've got resin down. Did I show you my BBBs? You have not. Well, I more so mean for production in terms of like your business. I'm also not sure how the whole selling miniatures thing works, like for other people's sculpts. But I'm more so mean as far as my potential involvement with the whole painting thing goes. Which, you know, I'm still very much interested. I'm hoping to get these guys painted soon for your guys' consideration. I think for like detail-rich minis like this, where it has so many little bits, resin is a little bit nicer. FDM, the detail sometimes gets clogged. Not clogged, but like... You can't just use a wash to pick it all out and expect it to look good. Alright. Yeah, this guy looks still very much wet. I do want to work some more of this green in, though. Let's hope it doesn't get too streaky. Specifically on some of the areas around here. Hope the drive's going good. At the very least, you're probably not dealing with much traffic around this hour. How is Denver, by the way? Nice city? I've never been. What percentage would that be? I'm on the where. Oh, of the upload. Ah, I see. Okay, so you didn't need to go in the office for the upload. You're just They're just forcing you to work on this now, I see. I don't know why. I assumed the whole emergency thing meant you have to be there in person. So I'm like, oh wow, Gino's got really cushy over in the executive suites. He's got he's got a bed that he can lay on and watch his laptop. Hey, you're almost done then. That's not good. I prefer it be 67 because then you'd be forced to work longer, and then you need something to, you know, to accompany you through that journey. That something would be me, and I would get more watch time. Soon there'll be none keeping you here. You'll be gone with the wind. Oh, okay, good. There's still the download. My precious watch time is still secured. Let's do that. Alright. Just slapping on some quick and dirty highlights here. I'm an actual idiot. Sorry about that, guys. Clean this up really quick. We spilled a little bit of water. I had like a full glass, and I was reaching for it in the corner of my eyes. I realized how I thought it was like half full, so I dragged it slightly ajar as I was lifting it towards me. And I proceeded to just spill a bunch of water on my desk for literally no reason. This was not prompted at all. There was no reason this had to happen. You have to Ethernet? Well, Content. As I wipe water off the corner off screen. What do you mean excuse to quit? Yeah, I quit after one spilled thing of water. Who do you think I am? It is hot down here, though. Might need to open a window once it cools down a little bit later at night. It's gonna be like 90s all next week, which is gonna be an interesting predicament. I will die at 90. I can't deal with the high temperatures either, or rather, I can. I can now because I don't work outside. When I did work outside, I could do the cold. I could do freezing cold, even if I don't have like a jacket or whatever. I will make do. I guess like any amount of cold, but having to actually do things in the heat is... Yeah, I'm the same way. But when it's not only hot, but you have to like carry shit and and do all that, that's where you lose me. My Mediterranean blood should be used to the heat, but I am luckily not the Trainwreck 3D pool will be open. But I am luckily the... I feel like I had a stroke reading that, but I think I get what you're trying to say. In like a cosmic sense. I understand the platonic ideal of what that sentence could, like, should be. I know they're like a little crummy, but I feel like these guys don't look too bad, right? They've got like colors. Why does picture look so washed out? The hell? My lens isn't dirty, is it? Was it? It's probably the light. Is the light too strong? Turn that down a little bit. Okay, now there we go. It doesn't look too bad, right? Right, Gino, would you sell this in your store? Are you selling this mini? But I have to dig a trench on Saturday to install electrical shit on Sunday. Working on a Sunday. I had to dig a trench recently to help with my cousin. To help my cousin out, but it's not here nor there. Gino, are you selling this? Do these look okay? Obviously, I know we want to keep prices down, so I won't put like an insane amount of effort and then get screwed over. Also, I just realized I forgot the highlights on him. I mean, I would say, but Sam has high quality, so that's a question for him. Okay. Alright, I'll put like... So I don't think we're trying to be selling display pieces here, is my thing, right? So I want to go like crazy on the effort. And then... And then having the charge, too high of prices. I was, but I'm waiting for my Herdstone to dry. Because I just covered this thing in wash. And it's still wet. Gotta get a big file downloaded? Gotcha. Alright. And then just the bases. Hopefully this dries up soon. Yeah, it should be good. Want to do some blood effects. Want to do some glowing bits, and then obviously a couple highlights, some mossy areas, and just make it look all grimy and gross for my beastie boys. Yeah, you're good. I've sort of clammed up as I've been looking stuff over. Alright. Let's do the grungy, desaturated blood. I'm gonna get some purple, I'm gonna get some black, I'm gonna mix this is a Herdstone. Basically, it's like the the pinnacle of Beastmen civilization. It's just a big altar that they bring all their sacrifices to, and it gets empowered with all that energy. And yes, I actually do play Warhammer. Beastmen are technically in like every Warhammer setting. There are some Beastmen 40k, but they're not their own army. I run them for classic Warhammer, or Warhammer Fantasy, or the old world, whatever you want to call it. And there they are. At points they were just part of the broader Chaos faction, but that's been like, you know, broken down to Warriors of Chaos, Chaos Demons, and Beastmen. We got a pretty interesting faction like history if you want to look into it. Something I may cover in a future video. I always appreciate your I like to call it engaging farming questions, which I assume that one is part of where you At least the way I always read them is you're like playing dumb for the benefit of, for my benefit, so I can explain it to you and have something to talk about. Unless that was a genuine question, then sorry to disregard all of this. But I definitely see you doing that a lot in my YouTube Shorts comments. Okay. I don't know if you noticed about me or not, but I know nothing and have a ton of time to sit down and learn. So I will look forward to a video. So I don't have to sit down and learn. It's both. Okay. Oh, I see. Well, either way, I always appreciate it. Don't take that the wrong way. Alright, so we're gonna go in, we're gonna thin this all down, and we are going to have the blood draining from the altar. And I want to have it sort of running through some of the chaos sigils and the like. When we get to these steps, I'm sort of like allowing the blood to go through and sort of cake. I'm sort of like imagining that it's like obstructing the area. I'm gonna have this one look like it's crying blood. Because GW doesn't like that. This one I'm gonna have the blood sort of dribbling down from his nose there. Alright. Now go in with some of the slightly brighter red. And oh, I got another laptop? Nice. Does work give you a laptop, or do you need to pay for all that stuff yourself? Turn your stream on my TV and face my work computer towards it, so IT Spy has to watch it too. Hello, Mr. IT person. If you like the stream, you know, come over and watch. I could use all the viewership. All the viewership, please. You're currently a very lucky man to be getting exclusive, unfiltered access to my stream. I say this as though it's not free. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm just... It's all the Beastmen fumes, aka the resin. It's all just clouding my brain. One second, guys. Alright, where were we at? Where face at? Also, no, the second laptop is a freebie I got from a friend. Nice. So I found if I do alcohol wash, water wash, let them dry, cure it, and it's in the window, the smell goes away a lot faster. Yeah, no, the water wash definitely helps. That much I can attest to. I do use a lamp for curing, I just prefer to control. It's just like a little cheapo UV thing. Also, because I often print, like... I'll start a print, like, when they get home, and then I will try and clean it up right before I go to bed. Is usually what that schedule looks like, so I'm not trying to... Alright guys, what do we think of the blood effects? Good? Too much? Not enough? I do kind of like the even streams I went for. But I do want more coming out of this main mouth here. Because that is like right up front. I mean, what I did is I sort of have like a mix where I went from like dark to bright to show that there's like, but I do think you are right. What I will do, I think, is I will cake more dry blood onto there. Especially like near the entry points. And then let's get some of that hyper gloss out. And then do like the freshest blood. I don't really use this stuff anymore, so I forgot where I put it. Yeah, it's not my regular. And let's just do like a little bit of blood stippled around the horns. Just dried and caked on. Orc skulls or just general orc prints? I have some orc prints saved to my PC if you want to take a look. I've also paid for some, so I could definitely send you some links. Can't recall if there's many orc skulls though. Alright. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some white ink now. And I want to do a couple of glow effects around and do those in like a sort of green. But if you need more prints, we definitely sort something out, Gino, if you want to have a look. I've been a pretty long-term subscriber to oh, I love that MMO. It's called Age of Reckoning. There's a private server called Return to Reckoning, and your brother's right. There is a squig herder class for that game, which is really cool. That game was cool just because it let you see a lot of the Warhammer fantasy setting. This was like before Total War, and we really had like a good example of that. As like a Warhammer fantasy fan, I like coming back to it. There's a private server, you want to check it out. Like, it's free. Yeah, maybe. I'm pretty sure you guys are like pretty big MMO guys from what I've heard. So that would be a thing. The game was Age of Reckoning. The private server is called Return to Reckoning or Return of Reckoning. One of those two. I see. It was weird. It had like a PvP focus, which is I don't know. It's a thing. I just like the world building, and I liked obviously like the classes and stuff. So I definitely see why it wasn't like a WoW killer or anything. Even though the Warhammer fantasy setting was kind of cool. I don't know who made it though. That I have no clue about. Do you think GW has tried like copying the Chaos Star? Because I feel like everyone uses that design. Like even like other like games and systems. I'm pretty sure I saw on, they're called the Damned. It's Wargame Atlantic's new like not like fake trader guard that they're doing. But you know, they're cool. Really cool minis, but I think I saw some Chaos Stars. I'm like, wow, GW really does not have any ownership over this design, huh? Because I think it's from something. Like I think it's like from a book. The 8-point Chaos Star. Like I think it was for. I think there is like something there that I'm forgetting about. Really? Sam knows fucking everyone, I guess. That's crazy. Yeah, okay, yes, that was the last thing I asked. Maybe one day I'll take a trip out. How'd the drive go? I am... Listen, these are what we call advanced techniques. Really, you just need to feel out the model. Oh shit, that was too much. I went too far with my finger painting. We're getting the irrigate. Yeah, and I know he did. You told me about a SWTOR podcast. While we were there, there's something about. He also did podcasts. I don't know if it was just a SWTOR one or if he did like multiple. With ESM was pretty big in game. He was friends with the now community director at Blizzard or Bethesda. Community director, huh? Either way, yeah, I think we're gonna go for some green. I think will look garish. Guys, do we do green or yellow? I'll show you my Beastmen just for context. So for my Beastmen, they are typically pale skin, orange fur, green for like most of their like tabards and all that, and then yellow eyes. The lights really. Which in that case, should I do? Because I feel like green might be a little bit too Christmassy on this guy. Started out as a SWTOR podcast and became a gaming podcast, nerd podcast. They didn't have time anymore. Yeah, it makes sense. He seems like a very busy man. Every day is Christmas. Every day is Christmas in the Braverns. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. I'll just go with my first inclination, which is green. I think this green's okay. The other option was yellow, but I think we're gonna try for green. I'll thin it down quite a bit. All right, what are we thinking, people? I do need to give these inks a little bit more time to dry, though. Silver and gold, silver and gold. I don't even know what that's in response to, but I'll go with it. All right. Well, I hope you are. Huh. I don't know if I'm being dumb. I could have sworn I asked you, "Oh, are you staying in a hotel?" and you corrected me and said Airbnb. But now I don't know if I'm being an idiot, like misremembering something. Anyway, hate driving. Warren died. Unfortunate. Pour one out. No, you did ask. It was an Airbnb. Okay. I know that red and green are the Christmas colors, but I am like in how like contrasty they are over like the really plain backdrop of like a stone pillar. The blood and like the fell green energy, I think, is really. It's doing a lot here. What? So I could do like full Christmas colors? Is that what we're going for? My plan is, if I actually start getting wins, which is from now on, once I have the Herdstone, any faction I beat in the slow grow league, I'll ask them for bits, and I'll try adding them to like either the base or to my some part of this Herdstone. Maybe decorating the horns with like heads. We'll see. I mean, he's probably just needs to check in. You know, it takes a few minutes. Probably went through a long ride. Doesn't necessarily want to like make him watch a painting stream. You better be watching the bang stream. I'm not gonna do a flat gray. I think what instead I'll do is I'll do gray mixed with like a bone color. Didn't hear from you like all day, thought you were dead. Do you guys, being autistic, have the flavor of autism where sometimes you need to peel your skin off because it doesn't feel right? Kind of. I have like, I will like absolutely butcher myself with hangnails. I used to get like fights in middle school. I have like a bunch of lead in my skin. Not lead, not actual lead, like pencil, like graphite. Because I was like bigger, and then like, you know, people would try and even the odds by stabbing me with like really sharp pencils. I have like a couple that are like still in my skin. When I first got them, I came home, I just took a knife, went to the bathtub, and just started carving away at chunks of myself to try and get all of it out. So I have that. I don't know if that's necessarily what you're asking, but like, yeah, if I have like stuff like inside of me, I will just like keep tearing away at myself till I get all out of my body. Which I think is sort of at least tangential to what you're asking. The sculpt does take the dry brushing very well. I found these Warhammer heads, but they're way under the scalp, and now I need to figure out how much to size them up. Wait, under scale. I don't know why. I don't know why my brain is thinking about scalps. I don't really know what that's about, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, most printers will have a measuring option. Usually, I have like similarish bits near me. I will just measure it out. Sometimes you get lucky, and if it's like an epic scale thing, they'll tell you, but that's usually not the case. But, I mean, or you can obviously just find like a properly scaled print and compare. Heads are maybe a little tricky because you have helmeted versus unhelmeted. But I'm sure if you find something similar, you'll be able to figure it out. You're a smart guy, Gino. I'm sure you got it. Honestly, I think this looks pretty good, right? Oh wait, I need to do the bones around the base. The skulls. Well, yeah, exactly. Scale next to our head or whatever. If you have another print. I mean, obviously, like, if it's like a generic Space Marine head, that's fine. If it's like something weird, like a Demon Prince head, that's obviously gonna be a little bit bespoke. And at that point, you're gonna need like a reference. But if it's like obviously a more commonly available mini that you have another set of prints for, you should be good. Oh, so that looks pretty good. Definitely not too bad if I do say so myself. That'd be cool. From what I recall, it sounded like a lot of World War II era stuff, right? I don't know how Warlord Games and all those guys are with proxies, but hopefully you could get something going with like World War II. I think like tanks would probably be like a good one, I feel, for FDM prints. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. I don't really play historicals, although all my old world group is into historicals, so maybe I should ask them on your behalf. I want to redo some of the blood effects because they got washed out. Definitely should have waited for my I should have done blood effects or the final layer after dry brush. Yeah, but the one but this one's themed as Rev War. I found bits and arms, but I don't know how conflict and bolt action minis go together. Huh. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much help I could be, but I'll ask around. Probably Friday, I'll throw a couple of questions at some people, see if I can't get some good answers. People who are actually into that space, and if I can't, help you guys out there. Alright, I think we're gonna be calling that done. What do we think, guys? Oh, there's a lot. I hate traveling. I have social anxiety, so you're better off than I. I like and hate. I feel like I usually like a nice trip once in a while, but home is also good, of course. Whenever you come back from a trip, is always nice being back in your own bed. I have social anxiety as well, and with that crash, I hate driving, but my wife had to be there, be here Wednesday. So I think after this week, I might have a new job with a little more travel again. Who knows? Maybe Gino will travel. Maybe a Gino will be coming to a town near you. Sucks starting the 9 calls louder each day. Travel to South Dakota. I must make it to the 26th. That's my 10,000 day lige. I don't even know the fuck's going on, right? I don't know what this conversation is even about. 2 more hours and it'll be done. Yeah, you keep looking at it like it's not done. Who, me? I mean, I think it looks pretty done. This is never gonna be like a huge project. I may add to it later. If there is one thing I would change, it's probably right here. What do you think it needs now? Not much. I mean, I don't want to go crazy with anything. I mean, maybe just a little bit like of like very fine highlights on some of these surfaces, I think might do a bit of justice. But I mean, I think dry brushing, like, yeah, I think it gives the effect I want on the table. I think it's sufficiently dark, and I think it really fits my Beastmen. Like, I think if I put them next to him right here, I think that looks good. Hello, can I snap the head off one of your minis and add them to my shrine thing? Not one of their actual minis, but one of the minis they've already... Like, if they already have minis, they're gonna have bits left over. So, hey, can I get some extra... Like, an extra dwarf torso and head? I could chain him up onto the... onto the side of my wacky shrine thing. That all my goatmen can now pray to. For power and to bolster their dark rituals. That's not a weird question to ask, right? If I were just to go up on the average layman, ask them that, I feel like they'd say yes. The cashier at the Walmart. I'm not the weird one. You're the weird one. You're making it weird. This guy's got like a hole in his head. Also, there's a bit of a story to the prints of this thing, which is why the bottom is a little bit I was very creative with how I hauled out the miniature. But yeah, this whole thing I had to like rip off of here because the auto supports were not done well, so I redid my own supports. And I brought the wrong flash drive. So like, oh, oops, guess I'm using the auto supports. And that was not a good idea. But it worked out in the end. There's basically no artifacts besides this, which is not a problem. What I do need to do right now, though, I'll probably do this on stream just to fill up some time because I don't want to end off early. I'll just start mixing some green stuff and I'll just throw it there. Actually, is it even worth green stuffing, or do I just do something else to fill in the gap? Because that's going to be quite a bit of green stuff, right? I already support it myself. So I had one USB I saved on initially. They're like, oh, the supports are messed up. I brought a different USB, and I didn't feel like going back. And I was just lazy. Like, it was fine. I thought it would be fine, but then I'm like, oh, maybe it's not so fine. The supports are really wonky. I don't know what happened on his end that made them like that. I can support things. Also, do you find auto supports are usually good? Like, when I auto support things, there's usually only like a few areas that don't look good to me. And then like the rest, it's not like a big... It's usually not a big issue for me. I've rarely had a print that I've like had to spend like hours manually supporting. Yeah. Yeah, like I'll auto support on Lychee. And then if I see there's like an obvious area where, oh, okay, this thing has like a big overhang, that'll need some extra supports. Those are like easiest spot. And then that's like about it. Because I remember you were saying you were like spending hours supporting some other models. Just not when you're doing a tank monster thing with corn logos. Oh, that does make sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get you. There's like wonky details that you need to worry about. I understand. I need to take off the gloves because all the shit, I just have dirty fingers in general from touching this model because I don't have like a real base for me to grab onto. And now they're all winding up with the green stuff. Shouldn't be too big of an issue though. The older this green stuff gets, the more of an issue the two-part epoxy is, and like all the little cured bits in the center. If I'm ever doing stuff where I actually need to worry about the texture of the green stuff, you always need to cut off that center bit, because otherwise just not usable. So I think the game plan here is gonna be... First, let me grab... These magnets are cheap and kind of shit, but I'll just put like a bunch of them. So this is gonna be phase 1 of the plan. These are definitely not N52. These are like a fraction of the power per surface area. But if I do like 4 of them, it shouldn't be a problem then. So I also just realized this is a little bit off screen for everybody. But basically all I did is got my wall of green stuff, stuck 4 magnets in it. Okay? Then I'm gonna grab some of the sprue from a previous stream. I'm gonna make basically it's just some struts on the inside for this thing to sit inside, or to sit on. Just something like that. And we're gonna do something similar with the second one. And I'll just hit this with some accelerator real quick. I introduced Sam to Red Corsairs and my coworker to Warhammer in general today. But as soon as you left, they were calling you a nerd behind your back. I'm joking, Gino. But I like never talk about D&D or Warhammer anything to people in my like at work. I think that's just like a personality thing. I typically like divorce my quote unquote work friends from like my actual friends. They're not the same thing to me. Like I'll be nice and cordial to you at work, but I really typically won't dig deep with like personal stuff. I'm there to do my job. I'm there to get the hell out. Fortunately, I think I need either more green stuff or another layer of struts. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another layer of struts. Damn. Where the hell did that go? Yeah. I cannot find that. Somehow, it was like a mass piece too. Okay, whatever. That's gonna be me looking for that off stream. I'll just cut something else out. So what is, like, if you had to pick one, what is your favorite faction? I'll say I'm leveling that question at you. I'm not sure I could even answer that for myself, but just like out of curiosity, if you have a favorite. I feel like that looks pretty good. Warden's already asking for another giant print, some brass scorpion thing. Oh, brass scorpions are sick. I love them all. I don't know. I like Space Marines. They're cool. Giant killing machines. Feel like a dog, dude. That 9 I was screaming to be suck started. What? Oh, are you not feeling too well, Warden? Sorry to hear that. Another hit of super glue accelerator for the fans. And then we're just gonna wait for the green stuff to dry. I do want to, do a little test, see if this actually. Or people don't get your jokes but me. Well, I love that you're Polish and don't understand certain things. That made me smile. Alright. If you say so. I'm being racially profiled in my ethnically profiled in my my YouTube chat. How could this happen? Okay. Cool. We got this done. We got the transport figured out. I know it's been a little bit short, but I think I'll call it a stream because it is kind of late. I know I started late. I think I'll continue to be starting either a little bit late or I'll try for early streams, maybe. It's like when Germans don't get sarcasm. You just don't pick up on jokes about. Okay. My painting stream. So late. Yeah, sorry about the lateness. This might be a thing in the future, unfortunately. Over the course, like, midday doesn't work the best for me. I think I do have flexible work hours. I might cash those in on a day where people aren't yelling at me as much to get like an earlier stream in, but then I don't know if that would even help any of you actually join. But hey, it was fun. I guess rewatch gang. Yeah, it might have to be. Anyway, bye guys. Have a good one. Hope you have a good trip, Warden. Hope all goes well with work, Gino.